Video blog.
Hey guys, this is Tim from Twice Circled, and welcome to episode 21 of the official Megaquarium video blog. I'm picking up right where I left off last time in this prolonged series, this extended series of playing through one big game. And last time I only managed to do one day because I was talking so much, but I think it was good talk. I hope you guys agree. I was telling you guys about some of the new features in the game, but now we're going to hopefully show you some more of the content that's in the game, because I want to show you some new stuff. So next thing on our to-do list is to unlock a new fish. Now, look at this. We have 30 ecology, and that's exactly the amount we need to unlock the half and half chromis. Now this is the one that needs to be either on its own or in a group of 4 or more. Let's see how that goes. So we have a choice here. Okay, we could. Let's see. This half and half chromis has a size of 3, so we could add 1 to each of these tanks, which isn't a bad start, to be honest. The problem is eventually these guys are going to grow, and then they'll be oversized. Maybe just for now. The alternative is actually build one of these tanks. I mean, I do quite like that setup. All right, let's go for kind of try and go as fast as we can, so I get as many points as possible and can show you as much stuff as possible. But sometimes in this game, it's weird. Expanding too quick can be a bit of a disadvantage. It's a weird one. Like actually, yeah, having less fish and more variety can be really advantageous because it's very quickly. The limiting factor starts to become how much your staff can do each day in terms of feeding your fish. But for now, what we're going to do is we're going to buy 1. Oh, that's strange. Why don't I have a little hover? Oh, there we go. For some reason, the hover disappeared. Okay. Now, notice that likes and dislikes. We've got water quality by 55. Great. No aggressive tank mates. Great. No decorations. Well, we can solve that. Don't worry. But it says it dislikes being with 1 to 3 others of the same species. So we have a choice now. Do we just have 1 in here, or do we go up to a total of 4? Well, 3 times 4. Sorry, I keep knocking the mic. 3 times 4 is 12, which means we can fit them in. So let's go for it. 2, 3, and then this 4th one. You see that now, if we click, that's now a green like, right? Because it's going to be in a shoal of 4 once it's in there. And there we go. And just to kind of show you guys, all of these are almost solved except for it wants some decoration. So let's add a rock. One of those. Listen to those sound effects. I really like them. My sound effect team are really doing a great job. Okay. The next thing in our tutorial is to expand our aquarium. Now we don't really need to do that yet, so I think I'm going to wait until we're going to build another tank. And so you can watch how the staff stuff works again. So this is now assigned to this one. Now what's happening is Dante's run out of flake, so he's going to go back and get some more. It's amazingly how efficient this is, having the food bin so close to the container. Now this is now empty. It will refill tomorrow morning, build additional food box if you still have hungry fish. Now luckily, if you look at this, 12 plus 6 plus 6 is exactly 30. And I didn't actually design that deliberately, but it just goes to show that actually if you do follow the tutorial like this and kind of, if you kind of follow the path of least resistance, what you end up doing is using exactly 30. So this is okay for now, but we will need to buy another one if we add any more fish, or if our fish grow. Because of course it's not 1 flake per fish, it's 1 flake per size of fish, right? So these guys are actually eating a total of 6 flakes. That'd be quite cool actually to put a kind of total of the amount of food that tank needs. That'd be quite cool if I could fit that on there. Okay, so in our day summary, 2 events have occurred. 3 damsels in tank 1 grow into adults, and 3 damsels in tank 2 grow into adults. Now this used to be 6 different events, but what I've done is if the same event happens in the same tank, I've condensed it. This makes the game much more shoal friendly, so if you have large shoals of fish, they kind of almost get treated as one big group, because for the most part, the way they behave is, if they're under the same conditions, for the most part they will grow the same rate, blah blah blah. So actually yeah, I've made it kind of more convenient to work with shoals. Okay, we're still making pretty decent money. You see, like it's a real advantage to only have a staff salary of 10. But we really do want to level up our aquarium so we can increase our guest rate and increase the amount we make per guest. Ba-bam. Okay, look at that. Now, we've increased the total amount of fish we have. Those 4 chromuses bumped this up to 24. That's pretty good. But also the fact that we've now got some extra variety. We've got 2 different fish, and all of our guests saw them, because that's the average. And 4 decorations. These don't give you very much, but you know what? This is a small incentive just to fill up your tanks with lots of decorations. So we hit 30, which is what we needed, and it says unlock today. And the next one is at 70. But this is what we unlocked today. So we've got the guest entrance rate went up to 1.2 per hour, and the ticket price has gone up as well. Wonderful. Okay, so we've now got 50 ecology, 20 science. Can we do anything with these? Now, interestingly, it says actually own at least 2 different species of fish. So we've already done that. We didn't actually need to expand our aquarium, but I kind of teach this in the tutorial just in case the way they've laid it out and there's not room. So I kind of just want to skip on this tutorial. You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to do something. I'm going to get rid of that square there. You notice we've completed the next things in the tutorial. And I'm actually going to move the tap to here. So that it's kind of sunken into here, and now the tap's actually in a very good position to clean these filters. Now the other interesting thing that you guys might have noticed is that I forgot to build a filter. So let's build that. The quality had got down to 86, so whoops. Okay, next is we should unlock a new decoration. Now the tutorial advises that a great decoration to unlock early is a saddle carpet anemone. This will earn you extra science for each species with the colourful trait in the same tank. Find it in the decorations section. So, the general rule of thumb is to get man-made things, you need science points. To get organic things, you need ecology points. Now, the saddle carpet anemone is alive, and will eventually, I think, have some kind of care requirements of its own, but right now it doesn't. Keep things simple. It gives us +3 science per species with the colourful trait. Now I just want to show you what our current totals are at, right? We have 3-3, 4-4, 3-3. Now these guys actually used to not give me any science, but they just grew up overnight, if you guys remember. So that's actually not bad. 3-3, 4-4, 3-3. But if we unlock the saddle carpet anemone and hover over these, 1 colourful means we get an extra 3 science there. These guys aren't colourful, so it won't do anything here, but it will here. So let's build one in each of those, and now I think I'm going to have a toggle up here just to show the ecology points anytime you want to see it. Currently the shorthand is you just select any fish and it will show you, but we just doubled the science that those 2 tanks are making, so that's a really big improvement. That's really good. Alright, cool. And next we have to earn 50 science points. Well, that's actually pretty convenient, so let's do another day. Now the eagle-eyed amongst you might know what's going to happen, but just in case you are not eagle-eyed, hey, and there's no shame in that, I'm just going to wait and show you what's going to happen. I know what's going to happen, because I've played this whole tutorial before, and I've played it pretty much exactly like this, because this is my favourite opening. Okay, we got our 50 science points, but wait, something bad's happened. It's saying that this feeding task cannot be completed because there are no more omnivore flakes in the aquarium. That's a bad thing, and the reason this has happened is because 6 of our fish have grown and they now are 1 size bigger, so we need some more food. So we need to build another one of these, and now it's kind of, I don't know, where do I put it? I could put it here. Do I make a little storeroom where it's easy to go and get more food? I'm not sure. I guess I'll just put it here for now. Eventually what I'm going to do is add, you know those guest ratings? I'm going to add negative guest ratings, so that if the guests see too many pieces of equipment out on the show floor, they're going to start getting a bit annoyed about that, like, you know, all these filters, all of these food containers, and so eventually you'll be incentivized a little later into the game, once you've got familiar with it, to keep all this stuff behind closed doors. But at the moment you're not penalized, so hey, let's power play this bad boy. Unlock a new tank is the next one. Now we've got these 2 basic tanks, and this is my attempt to kind of slowly get the player into it. The easiest way to keep equipment behind closed doors is with wall tanks, right? Because these are only accessed at the back. And so you don't start with those because it's a bit complicated to explain, but it works quite well, I think. Basically giving the player nothing else to unlock at this point, and so we just choose out of these. Now this tank is okay, but it is a bit small. It's bigger than this. It's 12 instead of 10. But I think we want something a bit bigger that some of our larger fish can grow into, and it's also worth bearing in mind that we're going to need something big enough for our shoal of black and white chromuses to grow into, because if all of those chromuses grow, they'll actually be too big for their tank. And we do need to keep 4 of them in the same place, so we need a big enough tank for those guys. So I'm going to unlock this slightly bigger tank, And the next thing is to own at least 4 tanks with fish in them. Now, can we unlock any more fish? We actually can't. This grouper is the next that we can unlock. But it's at 120. So I'm just going to wait. I'm going to speed it up. And we're going to wait for some more points to roll in. Okay, scale in tank 3 is thriving. Now this is a thing that happens if you, there's a small chance that a fish will be, in quotes, thriving if all of its care requirements, all of its likes are being met. And this gives it a little bonus to its happiness. Oh yeah, you know, I switched from happiness to health. Oh, I switched back to happiness. Oh, I can't decide. I might switch it again. I don't know. I'm actually tempted to go for a much simpler growth system, but I'll talk about that another time. All of these logs are going to be on the exact same version of the game, so I'm not going to, you know, it's just going to be a stable version. I'm not going to be adding new things as we go along. But our 4 chromuses are now growing into adults. Now these are good, right? Extra points, but they've also grown in size. Okay, so we've increased a little bit. Now the reason this has increased is because our fish have grown. So although the animal variety is the same, we've now actually increased our total kind of amount of fish that have been seen. We've also now got some points for decoration variety since we added that anemone. So this is when the player learns, oh interesting, you get points for decoration variety as well. And I will add a way that you can find this out. You won't have to wait until it turns up. And like I said in the last episode, I might even make it so that every time you level up it says you now also should try and have decoration variety, blah blah blah. You know what I mean. Anyway, we want to keep pushing that up. So, this is a problem. So here's my plan. We're going to add a new... I always do it this way. I want to see if there's something else I could do. I nearly always just start adding wall tanks on the side. It is quite a good way of going. But you know what we could do is like... We can add a wall tank like here. And make it so we actually make a bit of a kind of funnel. That's interesting. Doesn't really matter. They don't really need to do a loop and then go out. They can actually come back the way they've come. The main thing is that we want them to be pushed through deeper into our aquarium. We don't want them to spend time kind of going round and round in circles. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to create a tank here. And this, I think that's okay there. Not the best. Alright, make a bit more space. Okay. I think we'll do this. And then we're going to add... Oh, yeah, we will put omnivore flakes here, right? Because these guys are all going to be moving. So we're going to pick these guys up. I've reinstated something that I had early in the game. You can pick them up by clicking on this, right? But to make it a bit quicker, you can right-click on these icons to pick up scenery and fish. And the great thing about animals is you can actually stack them. You can pick up as many as you like at the same time. So right-click, 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 right-click. So this is showing that we've got 1 in our hand and then 3 kind of on the stack. So yeah, we're going to drop them all in here. Okay, and now this has a size of 18, so it actually has space for these 4. Wonderful. There's no decorations though. So let's add this, and one of these. Now we could add an anemone just because we want to keep our decoration variety high, but what would be even better is if we could add this staghorn coral, which gives +6 ecology per species with a striking trait. Now there's only one species with a striking trait in here, which is the half and half chromis, but that's +6 ecology, so I think that's worth doing. That will increase our ecology count here. Well, in fact, no, I'm not going to do it like that. I'm going to unlock it and then hover over it, and you see it gets +6. Where should we put it? At the back. Now this is now an empty tank. Now I don't have anything new to unlock. I'm actually going to leave this empty, which isn't ideal, but I don't want to buy any new fish at the moment because I don't want to just have more of the same fish. I want to have high variety, right? So we're going to push forward. Let's do a bit more of a day. Now one thing you'll notice. Oops. Oh, I actually meant to move this. I didn't actually mean to. Damn. I didn't mean to buy a new one. My idea was that they'd feed these 2 and then they'd come back round and then get the final bit they needed from here, and then you wouldn't waste a trip going to this one. Oh, he's actually having to clean these filters. Actually, well done. You managed to do the whole job. That's very good. Good. Quite happy with that. Okay. Loads of science points coming in because of those anemones. Oh, wow, we actually lost some rating. Now, the reason that happened is because a lot of our guests came in here and never went down here. So we actually never even saw this. So that potentially is a bad design. The way we can work at that is if we actually have another set of chromices somewhere else in the aquarium, so that if they don't happen to go along here, they still get to see them somewhere. But that's a really interesting one. So potentially that wasn't the best design, because now you know, they're going to come through here and they're going to kind of make a 50-50 decision. Do we go this way or do we go this way? And basically half our guests just never made it over here, which is not cool. Oh, that's rubbish. Right, and we don't have quite enough to unlock the next thing yet. And then I was going to wrap up the aquarium. That's got me thinking. I wonder if we can improve that again. Oh, that's not a very good design. I'm actually really not happy with that. Damn. So possibly the better thing to do is have it over here and then just block this off. See, and what's really interesting when you start playing this game a bit more is you're like, oh, actually a lot of it is about trying to constrict where the guests can walk so that they're kind of forced to see the tanks that you want them to see. Interesting. Oh, I can't decide. Trying to work out what's the best thing to do. I mean, I'm tempted just to put a wall here and then move this over here. Or just, no, you can't put a wall here because then, this is tricky. See, and this is kind of useless as well now. Now they're not, yeah. Okay, this is interesting. I might have to have a big structural rechange. Okay. What about, how much money have we got? Let's do this. Alright, these guys, let's flip it round. Can't actually do that because I need a bit more space. Okay, so if we put that there, let's move this filter here. Let's move this over here. This will be the last thing I do before I end this vlog. This is kind of, we don't need it at the moment, right? Now what I'm thinking is it'd actually be better if we just if we drew like a wall here and then force the guests to come around like this. Let's try it out. These guys aren't really being seen by anyone, but that doesn't actually matter right now because in terms of variety, but they won't see as many fish. Well, maybe we move this tank then. Maybe we just move that into that corner. And then we have this. So hopefully you see there's a bit of Big Pharma that I'm trying to make it so part of the skill is kind of reusing what you already have to make a kind of a better layout. Like we actually went downhill there. We actually made a worse aquarium when I moved those fish away because, you know, it was just a load of wasted space basically. Alright, let's just see how this one goes. The other question is, will my staff still be able to get round the whole thing to feed everybody? And they will. It'll be okay. So it's quite quick. It's quite easy for all the guests to see these three tanks. They're all very close to each other, and then once they've seen everything, that's fine. That's always like the goal, is if you can get your guests to see everything before they go, you've kind of done your job. So let's see what difference this has. We got some points, which means we can unlock a new fish tomorrow. And we're back up to 46, right? Because look, 32 means they saw every single fish. 1.9, one person didn't manage to see both of our fish types, which is a shame, but hey, it does start to happen when you get a bigger aquarium. And we're doing okay for these two too. Alright, we got loads of points, so the last thing I'm going to do is we're going to unlock this grouper, or we could go for the King Demoiselle. We got loads of points that round, because everybody went and saw the Chromis, and this one has 14 points. Let's get the grouper, and I think we can put the grouper here. Now they don't like, sorry, I said I was going to spend some time on each fish having a little look at them. Although often consumed by people, groupers can be highly poisonous. This is due to toxic algae that the groupers prey consume in large amounts. Groupers are not themselves effective, but in humans, ciguatoxin can leave food poisoning type symptoms for years. So watch out, maybe don't eat those groupers. Now groupers eat mussels, so it's a different food type we're going to have to be aware of. They grow quite big, they grow to size 9 eventually. They need not the best water quality. They like to have some rocks to play with, and they like no conspecifics, which basically means no species of the same, they don't want to have any tank mates that are the same species. There will be a glossary in the game that will allow you to find out what that means. I haven't designed it yet, but... So we can't put another grouper in here because they'll fight. But we could put some of these other fish in there, you know. So we could maybe unlock the Kingdom Orzell in a little bit and put one of those in. We can't quite afford him yet. But you know what we could start by doing? We could put the Saddle Carpet and Enemy, which likes colourful traits. Put that in. Put one Azure de Orzell. And which you'll know is giving me +1 ecology, +3 science. That +3 science is because it's comboing with that Saddle Carpet and Enemy. And then eventually when we unlock this Kingdom Orzell, that'll be a second colourful, and that'll give us even more science points. Now there's only one view position for the grouper here, so I'm hoping that people will get round and see it before the end of tomorrow. But we won't find out until the next vlog, because I'm going to leave it there. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!